All right, if you're listening to this, I'm guessing those Hong Kong apartment daydreams have hit a whole new level. Maybe you're actually thinking about making a move. Or maybe you're just fascinated by how the other half lives.
Well, either way, we've got you covered. We've got a whole stack of articles here, and they go way beyond just like the basic real estate stuff.
Yeah, none of those boring brochures with just floor plans and square footage, right?
Right, we're talking about the experience of luxury living in Hong Kong.
So almost like we're taking a virtual tour together.
Exactly. And what really struck me is how these articles highlight the diversity of luxury living within Hong Kong.
Oh, interesting.
You've got the bustling city center vibes, like with those Pacific Place apartments, which put you right in the heart of it all.
Oh, yeah, Pacific Place.
And then you have the tranquility of the Peak with residences like Chelsea Court. So it's a completely different pace.
See, that's what always gets me. It's not just luxury as like a one-size-fits-all thing.
Right.
It's about different flavors of luxury, catering to different lifestyles.
Absolutely. But before we get too caught up in the specifics, how about we just set the scene a little?
Okay, I like it.
These articles, they really hone in on the sensory experience.
Yeah.
Just imagine stepping out onto the balcony of your high-rise apartment.
Okay, yeah, I can picture it. Those breathtaking views, the Victoria Harbor spread out beneath you, the cityscape stretching on forever.
Exactly. That sky's the limit feeling that keeps coming up. But it's not just about that outward view. These articles also do a great job of painting a picture of the interiors.
Oh, so paint me a picture.
We're talking marble floors, designer furnishings. There was even a mention of Fiona Barrett Campbell.
Oh, Fiona Barrett Campbell, I love her work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about understated elegance, using a lot of natural materials, clean lines. You know, it's not just luxury for the sake of showing off wealth. There's actual thoughtfulness behind her designs.
And that's what I found so fascinating. This idea that Hong Kong luxury seems to be moving beyond just being purely ostentatious. There's this real focus on craftsmanship,
Yeah.
on creating spaces that are beautiful and functional.
No.
It's like they're not just places to show off, they're actually designed to live in.
So we've got the visual feast covered. Now let's dive into the actual lifestyle. These articles are super clear. It's way more than just having a fancy address. What stood out to you in terms of how they elevate daily life in these apartments?
Well, the amenities are definitely front and center, but it's not just about having like a pool and a gym.
Right.
It's the quality and the thought behind them. So we're talking state-of-the-art gyms with personal trainers, classes, for any interest you can think of. You could practically just live in the fitness center.
Yeah, it's not just some box they've ticked off. It's an actual part of the lifestyle.
Exactly.
And what about those spas? Are we talking basic saunas or what?
Think more along the lines of full-service wellness centers. They've got treatments, therapies, relaxation spaces.
Yeah.
They're really tapping into this whole idea of holistic well-being. And then you have those gourmet kitchens, which are basically works of art in themselves.
Oh, those kitchens, don't even get me started. Top-of-the-line appliances, all that space.
Right.
Some of them even mention having, like, in-building chef experiences.
Yeah.
So even if you're not a great cook, you can still enjoy amazing meals in your own building.
Exactly. And let's not forget the concierge service, which is like having a personal assistant on call 24/7.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that.
They handle everything, from dinner reservations to transportation, laundry, even pet care.
Hold on, pet care.
Oh.
You mean these luxury apartments are actually pet-friendly?
It might surprise you, but yes, quite a few of them welcome pets.
Really?
Like Pacific Place apartments, they do have a weight limit, but pets are definitely allowed. And then there are places like Parkview Hong Kong, which goes all out with their pet-friendly suites.
Interesting. But it's not just about tolerating pets, right? Are there actual amenities for them?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking grooming stations, play areas, even vets on call in some cases.
Wow, it's like a doggy daycare built right in.
Yeah, exactly.
This whole Hong Kong luxury thing, it keeps getting more interesting. It's not just what you see on the surface. There are all these layers of thoughtfulness.
Right. That attention to detail, it extends to the flexibility they offer, too. They cater to both short-term stays and long-term residents.
So it's not just for the super rich who are settling down permanently.
Not at all. There are options for business travelers, families, everyone. They even mentioned service departments, which I thought was interesting.
Service apartments, what are those exactly?
Think of it as the hassle-free option. They're fully furnished, all utilities included, often even housekeeping services.
So it's like checking into a luxury hotel, but with the space of an actual apartment. That's a great option for someone new to the city.
Exactly. And there's a huge range of options for serviced apartments, too, from studios to multi-bedroom units.
Okay, so we've got the luxurious living, the amenities, even this pet-friendly thing. But there's one thing that keeps popping up that I'm curious about, this idea of community. You don't usually hear about that when it comes to high-rise living.
Right, and that's where it gets really interesting. It's like these buildings aren't just about individual apartments. They're designed to create this sense of belonging.
So it's not just about running into your neighbor in the elevator and awkwardly saying hi.
No, not at all. They have dedicated social spaces within the buildings, rooftop lounges, gardens, clubhouses where residents can actually hang out.
And they don't just leave it up to chance encounters either, right?
No, they actually organize events and activities.
Oh, wow.
We're talking wine tastings, movie nights, festivals, even business networking.
So you could actually build your whole social circle, maybe even your professional network within your building.
It's really about creating opportunities for people to connect on different levels.
So it's almost like a complete lifestyle package.
Exactly. And it really challenges that typical image of anonymous city living.
All right, so in this first part of our deep dive, we've really gone beyond those glossy brochures and gotten a glimpse into the real Hong Kong luxury apartment lifestyle.
Yeah.
Breathtaking views, high-end interiors, even the surprising pet-friendly options, and this whole emphasis on community. It's definitely got me rethinking my assumptions.
It's clear these apartments offer much more than just a place to live. It's a whole experience. Whether you're looking for a short stay or a permanent home, there's a ton of flexibility and options.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Hong Kong luxury apartments. Now that we've kind of gotten a taste of the lifestyle, let's actually zoom in on those different neighborhoods you were talking about.
Okay, sounds good.
You know, I'm ready to trade in those generic skyscraper photos for some real-life Hong Kong flavor.
Well, you're in luck because these articles, they really go beyond those typical tourist snapshots. They take us into specific areas, highlighting what makes each one unique. Remember how we were talking about that contrast between the city center buzz and the peak serenity?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like two different worlds, but in the same city.
Exactly. And the articles give us some great examples. Like they talk about Pacific Place apartments in Admiralty, as that epitome of city center luxury.
Okay, Pacific Place Apartments. That rings a bell. Isn't that the one where you're basically living in a high-end shopping mall?
Yeah, you're not far off.
Yeah.
It's known for that seamless connection to Pacific Place. The complex with designer boutiques, restaurants, even a cinema.
So you literally just step out of your apartment and you have it all.
Exactly.
So it's perfect for someone who thrives on that urban energy, wants to be in the heart of it all. But what about those breathtaking views we were talking about earlier? Does living in the middle of it all mean sacrificing those iconic Hong Kong vistas?
Not necessarily. Some city center apartments might have limited views, but others offer these amazing perspectives of the urban landscape.
Oh, I see.
Think skyscrapers all lit up at night, the harbor bustling with activity. It's a different kind of beauty.
Okay, yeah.
And if it's those panoramic, expansive views you're after, the Peak is definitely where it's at.
Okay, now we're talking. The Peak is basically Hong Kong's most exclusive neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perched high above the city, known for its luxury residences and those incredible views.
Exactly. And the article specifically mentioned Chelsea Court, highlighting its unmatched views of East Lama and the South China Sea.
Okay, Chelsea Court is officially going on my dream Hong Kong apartment Pinterest board.
Good choice.
But it sounds like the Peak is more than just a view, right? It has a completely different vibe compared to the city center.
Yeah, it does. It's known for its tranquility and lush greenery. Think like winding roads, colonial-era architecture. It's a real sense of escape from that urban hustle.
So you're trading the energy for peace and quiet.
Exactly.
So it's not just about choosing an apartment, it's about choosing a lifestyle. And Hong Kong seems to offer that variety within its luxury apartment scene.
It does. And that variety extends beyond location. Remember those gourmet kitchens we were talking about?
Oh, how could I forget? All those high-end appliances and the space. It's a dream come true.
Right. But what I found interesting was how some buildings are going beyond just providing a great kitchen. They're incorporating these unique culinary experiences into the lifestyle.
Oh, like what? Tell me more.
Well, some residences bring in world-class chefs for private dining experiences.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying I could skip the crowded restaurants and have a Michelin star meal right in my building?
Pretty much.
That's insane.
And then for those nights when you don't feel like cooking at all, They mentioned some residences have partnerships with local eateries, so you can just have gourmet meals delivered.
Talk about convenience. It's like having your own personal restaurant right downstairs. I'm seeing a pattern here. Hong Kong luxury isn't just about the material stuff. It's about taking those everyday experiences and just elevating them.
You're right. And that ties into the personalized service we talked about earlier.
Right.
It's about anticipating your needs and just making everything seamless.
Hmm.
Concierge service, housekeeping, even pet care. It's not just about your apartment, it's about you.
I love that. Luxury as a service. But let's be real. All this attention, the amenities, those locations, it all comes at a price, right?
Of course. Yeah. We're talking about luxury living in one of the most expensive cities in the world. But here's where those market trends and pricing factors come into play.
Right. We talked about how location, the view, amenities, demand, it all impacts the price.
Exactly. And these articles actually had some interesting tips for navigating this whole aspect. First off, they stress that not all luxury apartments are created equal.
Okay.
Even in the same neighborhood, you'll have a range of prices depending on the specific building, the amenities, and even the view it offers.
So it's not just, I want to live on the peak. It's about understanding the nuances.
Exactly. And that's where research and maybe working with a real estate expert can be really valuable.
Okay, that makes sense. They can help you make sense of it all and find a place that actually fits your budget.
Right. Remember, knowledge is power, especially in a market like Hong Kong's.
All right, so we've talked neighborhoods, the luxury amenities, the personalized service, even the financial side. But there's one more thing I want to unpack. This whole community aspect that keeps coming up.
Ah, yes. The community element. It's something these articles really highlighted. And I think it shows a shift in how people are thinking about luxury living, especially in a city like Hong Kong, which is so dense and fast-paced.
You're right. At first, I thought it was a bit ironic talking about community when it comes to luxury high-rises. But the more we talk about it, the more it makes sense.
Yeah, it's about challenging those preconceived notions, right?
Mm-hmm.
These buildings aren't about isolation and opulence. They're actually designed to foster a sense of belonging.
So it's not just about having fancy neighbors. It's about actually having relationships.
Exactly. And remember, those social spaces, rooftop lounges, gardens, clubhouses, they don't just provide the space.
Yeah, I was picturing myself having cocktails with my new best friend overlooking the harbor.
That could be a reality. They actually organize events to bring people together.
Oh, really? Like what kind of events?
We're talking wine tastings, movie nights, cultural festivals, even business networking events. It's about giving people the chance to connect.
Wow, that's amazing. So you could actually build a whole social circle, maybe even your professional network, all within your building.
Yeah.
That's so different from that image of anonymous city living.
It is. And it goes
Yeah.
deeper than just what luxury living is. It's not just about material possessions. It's about feeling connected, having that community right at your doorstep.
I love that. It really adds another dimension to the whole idea of luxury living. It's not just about exclusivity, it's about inclusivity.
Right?
Creating that sense of belonging.
And that ties into Hong Kong's overall vibrancy.
Yeah.
Imagine having all of this and then also having that easy access to the city's cultural scene,
Yeah.
art galleries, street markets. It's like having the best of both worlds, a peaceful retreat and a vibrant city.
Okay, I think we've done a pretty good job of painting a picture of Hong Kong luxury apartment living.
Yeah.
We've got those views, the interiors, personalized service, even the pet-friendly options, different neighborhoods, this sense of community.
We've gone from just dreaming about it to actually understanding what it's like. But there's still one piece missing, the actual process of finding an apartment in this market.
Right, the how.
That's what we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, I'm all ears. We've explored the what and the why. Now I'm ready for the how. All right, so we've spent the last 2 parts of this deep dive really getting into Hong Kong luxury apartment living, the views, the amenities, the lifestyle, even that community aspect, which was a surprise. But let's get down to the how-to now.
Okay.
How do you actually go from just dreaming about this perfect apartment to finding one, especially in such a competitive market?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? And the articles we've got here, they do have some good advice on navigating the Hong Kong real estate scene.
Right.
And it all starts with, well, clarity, I guess you could say.
Clarity, you mean knowing what you want.
Exactly. Before you even look at listings or start talking to agents, you have to have a really clear picture of what you're looking for. What are your must-haves? Is it the location, like being near the financial district or close to those Victoria Peak trails?
Right.
Or are certain amenities super important, like having that amazing gym or a rooftop pool with those killer views?
Okay, so it's more than just a budget. It's about figuring out what you actually want your Hong Kong life to look like.
Right. And once you've got that figured out, then you can start looking at different neighborhoods and seeing if they fit your lifestyle. And here's where these articles suggest something kind of old school.
What do you mean?
They really emphasize actually going to different neighborhoods in person.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, online listings and virtual tours, they can only show you so much.
I get that. It's like trying to choose a vacation spot just from pictures online. You miss
Yeah.
the vibe.
Exactly. You have to actually walk through the neighborhood, feel the atmosphere, see those little details like the shops, the restaurants, the people.
Mhm.
That's what helps you connect with the place.
So no substitute for the real thing, even with all the technology we have. Okay, but let's say I've done that. Explored neighborhoods, figured out what I want, maybe even found some apartments online. What's next?
Well, then it's time to really dive into the Hong Kong real estate market. And as we've seen, it can be pretty tricky to navigate.
Yeah, we talked about how location, the view, amenities, even just the demand all play a part in the price. But how do you even make sense of all that? It feels like it's always changing.
That's where having some expert help can make a huge difference. The articles really stress that working with a good real estate agent who knows Hong Kong's luxury market inside and out is key.
Okay, I can see why that would be important. They can help you cut through the noise.
Exactly. They have access to all of the latest market data, they understand the specifics of different buildings and neighborhoods, and they can help you negotiate, which is super important in a market like Hong Kong's.
So it's about having someone who can guide you through the process and make sure you get a good deal.
Absolutely. They can save you a lot of time, stress, and even money.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. But even with expert help, isn't it still a bit of a gamble? I mean, Hong Kong has very limited space and there's tons of demand. What are the chances of actually getting that dream apartment?
Yeah, you're right. It's a tough market, but the key is to be prepared and ready to move quickly.
Okay.
Have your finances in order, know exactly what you want, and be ready to jump on it when you find that perfect place.
So don't hesitate.
Right? Hesitation can mean missing out.
So it sounds like a mix of knowing what you want, being prepared, and having good advice.
And a bit of that Hong Kong spirit,
Mm.
being ambitious and adaptable.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I think we've covered a lot in this deep dive. We went from just dreaming about luxury to actually understanding what it means in Hong Kong. The lifestyle, the different neighborhoods, the practical stuff, and even that sense of community, which was unexpected.
Yeah, it's really more than just a status symbol. It's a way of life.
Right, it's about finding that balance between the energy of the city and the peacefulness of your own space. And it's amazing to see how they're changing what luxury living can be, making it more inclusive and community-focused.
Exactly. So to wrap things up, if you're interested in Hong Kong luxury apartments, just remember, be clear about what you want, do your research, and don't be afraid to ask for help. You might find yourself on that balcony overlooking the city sooner than you think.
I love it. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it insightful, maybe even inspiring. Who knows, maybe we'll run into you at one of those rooftop wine tastings someday.